Do you find yourself wanting to be more efficient at grocery shopping, but you're not sure where to begin? You have come to the right place because that's exactly what we are going to talk about in this video. My name's Tiffany, and I help busy millennials who feel overwhelmed in the kitchen learn new skills to create quick, healthy meals with wine pairings. Check out my link in the description below and follow me on social media for daily tips, tricks, recipes, and inspiration. And while you're there, be sure to click the link to download your copy of my free weeknight recipe guide featuring 7 recipes that go from raw to ready in less than 30 minutes, saving you time, money, and energy in your kitchen, and also helping you stress less overall so you can start to enjoy life as you wish. Because we all deserve that freedom and flexibility in life. In this video, we are going to discuss how you can become more efficient at grocery shopping, even if you're not a meal planner. But that's not all. I also have a super simple strategy to help you create the perfect wine pairing experience to tantalize your taste buds and elevate your meals as you discover new recipes and rediscover those family favorites that you might be tired of making. So be sure to stick around until the end. Let's get started. So, the first tip to help you grocery shop more efficiently and effectively is to shop with unplanned meals in mind. So, what this looks like is you focus on those pantry staples. So, you have those in a busy moment when life happens and you just don't have the time to cook. So, some of my go-tos for these pantry staples are canned beans or dried beans, rice, pasta, some canned soup mixes, even frozen veggies are perfect to have on those busy weeknights when you just don't have the time or energy to cook. Now, you also want to be shopping the sales. This is the perfect time to stock up on meat and your non-perishables because they're going to last for a while in the freezer or in your pantry, depending on what you're stocking up on. So stock up on those. You would be surprised at how many recipes that you can make out of a bag of frozen chicken or pork or a package of rice or pasta. The sky is the limit when it comes to those. And if you are in need of some recipe inspiration, be sure to check out the link in the description below for Taste Buds, which takes the guesswork out of cooking. Now, some people see it as just some recipe inspiration, but Taste Buds is so much more than that. Not only do you get to try exclusive seasonings and spices that you probably would not have tried otherwise, but you also get endless inspiration at your fingertips of recipes that are sure to become new family favorites for you and your family. You also get exclusive access to discounts and other Flavor Club perks. Truly amazing. But it's a great place to start to get some of those new, quick, easy recipes for those nights when we just don't know what to cook. Now, before we jump in to tip number 2, I want to hear from you. What is your current pain point in the kitchen while you're cooking at home? Drop it in the comments below. I look forward to reading these and learning how we can grow and learn together, overcoming those pain points, one recipe and one glass of wine at a time. Now, tip number 2 to help you become more efficient and effective with your grocery shopping is to switch up your strategy. Now, I know it sounds simple, but it really is just that simple as switching things up and shifting that mindset. So look at some of those family favorite recipes that you tend to make week after week, month after month, and maybe you just need a break from, but yet they're so quick and easy and everyone loves them, you keep making them. Stock up on those ingredients. So for mine, we love Taco Tuesday, but sometimes you need to change up those tacos. So whenever we see ground beef or ground turkey or ground chicken on sale, we stock up. But just because we love tacos doesn't mean you always have to turn that ground meat into taco meat. You can change it up by making burritos or tacos or nachos Another fun twist is to use that leftover taco meat in a baked potato, stuffed peppers, or over fries. So many possibilities, but it's still that same base of taco meat. Now, you can also take a look at freezer meals. So when you are making tacos or spaghetti or another big batch meal, double the recipe and portion out to stock up your freezer. And then on those busy weeknights, you simply grab that bag out of the freezer, thaw it, and either cook it in the oven, your pressure cooker, your slow cooker, depending on the recipe, and you have got dinner on the table ready when you are. Now, before we jump in to our third tip, I want to remind you to hit the subscribe button because I'm dropping videos like this every week, and I would hate for you to miss out on the next tip or trick shared right here inside my tasting room. So tip number 3 to help you become more efficient and effective at your grocery shopping is to get creative with your pantry dinner. Now, this is a term that became popular a few years ago, but not everyone fully understands what that pantry dinner is. Some people might see it as a soup mix that you pull out of your pantry. Other people might see it as a box of pasta and a jar of pasta sauce that comes from your pantry. But it is so much more than that. When it comes to a pantry dinner, you grab 3 to 5 ingredients from your pantry and you create the recipe. This is one of my personal favorite things to do, especially when I don't feel like going to the grocery store, because it forces me to get creative, but it also creates a new recipe that might become a family favorite, and you would have never discovered it if you didn't push yourself out of that comfort zone and get creative. So to help with this pantry dinner, you want to stock up your pantry, but also stock up your freezer, your fridge, and your produce. So look at items that are going to have a longer shelf life. So in the produce world, great things to stock up on are apples, carrots, cabbage, as well as your hard cheese and eggs, because they have a longer shelf life in the fridge. You also want to look at canned goods, dried beans, and pasta, because these are all going to have a longer shelf life, but also help you get creative. So one of my recent creations has been with dried beans and rice, but instead of the classic beans and rice dish, we added in some egg and chopped up veggies for a fun fried rice twist. And it was delicious. We had our whole grains, we had our protein, we had our veggies. And if you're looking for some additional flavor, add in some seasonings or shredded cheese, and you have got dinner on the table ready to go, and you were able to create it. Now, one little tip though, make sure you write it down so that way you can recreate it in the future, because not everyone is going to have the greatest memory to remember. I know I don't, so I always have to write those things down. Better yet, take pictures and record videos to help you remember later, but then you can also share it with your friends and family to help inspire them to get creative in the kitchen. Now let's keep this momentum going by creating the perfect wine pairing experience to go along with these new recipes that you are going to be creating in your own kitchen. Tip number 1, as a general rule, red with red and white with white. So generally speaking, red wine is going to go best with your red meats and your tomato-based pasta sauces, whereas white wine is going to go best with your white meats and your creamy garlic and herb-based sauces. But that's not always the case. And that leads us to tip number 2, which is to consider those sides and seasonings. When it comes to wine pairing, you want to look at the meal as a whole, not just the main course or just one of the dishes. So look for those common flavors and common themes that bring everything together. And look for a wine that is going to match those flavors. Now, typically, if you're going to have a meal that is strong on pepper or more savory spices, a red wine is usually the route to go, especially focusing on the black pepper. You can find red wines that also have those notes of black pepper. And tip number 3 is sweet likes heat. So when it comes to spicy dishes such as Mexican, Indian, curry, and Thai food, you want a sweet wine that is going to cut through that spiciness and even tone it down a little bit. Now, of course, if you are looking to accent the spice, grab yourself a dry wine and it will do just that. But remember, I warned you. Now, if you are ready to become the wine pairing guru in your social circle, be sure to download your copy of my basic food and wine pairing guide in the description below to help you not only elevate your taste buds with your next meal, but also help your friends do the same.